how to navigate and plan your weekly schedule. My name is Sailynn Doyle. I am your fun business coach, and I am so excited to be here with you to prep your weekly schedule, calendar, whatever you want to call it, so you have more white space, right? And we use the term white space, which is basically like I use Google Calendar. I've always used it to run my 7-figure business. And you have all these different colors and appointments and all these kinds of things. And we want more of the white where nothing is planned. If you missed my live from last week we talked about what is so important to plan your daily schedule. This week we are moving on to weekly. You guys, a free guide that you can download that is the exact weekly planning strategy that I use. So let me put that up for you so that way you guys can see that. It's called the Entrepreneur's Survival Guide to Juggling Family, Life, and Business, and it helps you unlock an additional 150 minutes of free time in your schedule each and every week. And the key to doing this is to set aside 15 minutes at the beginning of every week or the end of the week and plan your week. But here is the thing. What I am hearing from women in business is you're so busy, right? You're busy with your business. You're busy with your family. You're busy with your friends. You're busy with your volunteerism. You are just busy, 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 and you can't find the time to either work on your business consistently. You're feeling unproductive. You're going to bed feeling unaccomplished for the day. You're getting down on yourself because you're not getting the results. And you're like, why is this happening? And it is because you don't have a plan that aligns with what you really want. So just a little bit about me so I completely understand where you are. Because back in 2007, I started my first business. It was a franchise in the home health industry. And so we ran 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I worked 80 plus hours for 3 years straight. I was burnt out and completely in denial about that because as a woman, I can handle everything. But the thing about it is I was busy doing so many things that did not align with what I truly wanted. Fast forward 2010, I have one of those moments that I draw a line in the sand and I say something has to change. And once I drew that line in the sand and said something has to change, I dove into where I was spending my time each and every week. And what I realized is I was not working on the things that actually move the needle in my business. I was busy being busy and not on the things that were important. So of course I was going to bed every day exhausted, but not feeling accomplished. Of course I was feeling overwhelmed and frustrated that I couldn't figure out how to work less because I was doing all the things, but all the things that didn't move me forward. And so in the free guide, in the Entrepreneur Survival Guide, you have the opportunity. And what you will find is when you focus on the things that move the needle, and we talked about this so much last week. So if you missed last week's training on daily, you need to go back and watch that. Then you can plan your week where you can have more white space in your calendar. So you're probably saying to yourself that I have to do all of these things. Like, what am I going to let go? So inside of my signature course, the Legacy Business School, I have my clients complete my time freedom finder, right? And this is an activity where we go through your schedule and we put everything into 3 categories. So things that can only be done by you, things that need to be done but can be done by someone else, and things that probably don't need to be done by anyone else, right? And I can guarantee you there are things that you are doing right now because every single client that I work with, right, says, oh my gosh, why was I doing this? There are things that you can immediately remove from your schedule right now that are going to save you time and get you more white space on your calendar. And you're probably thinking, no, I have to do all of this. But that is our ego speaking, right? We do not have to do everything on our calendar. And so if you're someone that's feeling like all you do is work and you're running around and you're feeling chaotic all the time, I hear you, been there, did that. But when I drew that line in the sand and I said, something has to change, I cannot continue working 80 hours a week, that is when my eyes kind of opened up to what was really going on in my schedule. And I realized that I was doing a lot of things that were not needed. And so, what I want you to do this week, right, is I want you to look at your schedule and put things in those three categories. And if you're inside of my legacy business goal, one of the things that I help my clients do is once they do this exercise is we work through the things in each category and we kind of determine whether you really need to do them or whether it's just your ego or your guilt thinking that you need to do them. So for instance, right, let me give you an example. Inside my business, I go live to do this training, right? I can't have someone else do that for me. I have to physically do that. I need to come on here and I need to do that. But I send an email the next day with a replay from the training. That is not something that I have to do. I could outsource that to a VA who gets on every week. She takes the email, she schedules the email, and off it goes, right? So that is where you can get help in your business, but you have to figure out the things that are in your zone of genius. So you might be saying, what is my zone of genius? That is a great question. Your zone of genius is everything that you absolutely love to do in your business. Like you're like, yes, I love doing this. It lights me up. And then it could be things that you're really, really good at too. Okay. But even though if you're really good at them, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to do them forever, but you're really good at them. So these are the things that bring you joy in your business, right? What are those things? When you started your business, right? You said, I love to do this and I want to make this impact on the world by doing this and helping others. What were those things? When you can get your calendar to represent just those things, that's when you find more white space in your calendar. Now, I know you're probably saying to me, Sailynn, I can't afford to outsource. And I'm going to come back on with you and say two things. One, you cannot not afford to outsource. If you are overworking, overwhelmed, and not moving the needle in your business and your business is not growing, that is because you are not doing the right things in your business. You're not moving that needle. And two, you can outsource so many things nowadays, and it could be outsourcing to like a human being, right? So like a VA, a contractor, 1099, an employee, whatever kind of deal, an agency, or we could get you set up with automations, streamlining tech tools. So let me give you an example of this. I was working with a fellow woman entrepreneur this week, and she said she has a process. When she is talking to a new client, she has them fill out an application, and then she needs to send them a link to her offer, like her program, so they can check out the prices and all of that. And then if they're okay with the prices, then they book a call with her, right? So a discovery call, strategy call, whatever you want to call it, free call. Now, right now, she's doing all of those things manually. So in order for her to free up time in her schedule, I was like, okay, we need to automate this process. So when someone in your DM says, I'd like more information, she does one step that automatically triggers the application, which then triggers the email with the program offering, which then triggers the appointment on her calendar so she can spend her time working on those sales calls, right? And signing up new clients and then doing what she does best, which is pouring into those clients her expertise, right? She does not need to do that. She can get all of those steps set up completely free. And she probably just saved herself hours of time during her week because she's getting inundated with inquiries. So I want you to think about what you're doing in your business this week. This is your time to evaluate. So I want you to just get out plain old notebook, right? Plain old notebook, divided into 3 categories. And every single day for the next 7 days, I want you to put each and every activity that you do from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep into one of those 3 categories. And just as a reminder, those 3 categories are things that only you can do. I come on here, I train, I physically have to do this. I can't send someone in my spot. The second thing is things that someone else could do for you, whether that's a person or whether that's some sort of automation, okay? And then the other category is things that you can probably ditch, delete on your list, right? And you're gonna kind of say to yourself, oh no, I have to do that. But as I said, I can guarantee you so many clients are like, why am I still doing that? And I'm like, I don't know, you tell me. And we get permission to let it go and we don't do it anymore. So this is going to be your task for the next 7 days. Track those things, put them in the categories, and then look at where you can ditch to automatically get more white space in your calendar, or you can outsource or automate to get help and start doing only the things that you have to do yourself. Because automatically, when you lessen your hours, your working hours, you are automatically going to make more money in business, right? If you're working, 50 hours a week right now and we get you down to 40, you just made more money, right? And what's going to happen is when you focus your time on the things that are inside your zone of genius, the things that only you can do, that you love to do, that you're naturally good at, you're going to increase your sales because your passion and your love of your business is going to come back. And when you do those activities, you're going to be more lit up, more present, more excited about them, and going to be able to pour more passion into them, which means more people are going to find you. They're going to want to be in your world, and you are going to increase your sales. A burnt out business owner is not someone that people want to buy from. So think about that. Okay. So that is your homework for the next week. I am going to pop the link into the comments for the free guide, which will kind of guide you through my weekly planning process. It's 3 steps, super simple, 15 minutes each Sunday that you can use along with this task with the homework that I just gave you, right? And then what I want you to do is join me back here next week. We're going to talk about monthly planning and what you should be doing every single month in your business. If you have any questions about this process, pop them in the comments and I will answer them. And as always, my DMs are open. Feel free to send me a friend request and ask me your questions. I will see you guys next week, same time, same place. We are going to be talking monthly planning. I'll see you then. Have a fabulous week.